On a distant planet called Zalara, a group of curious aliens gathered in a grand hall. The walls sparkled with strange symbols and bright lights flickered overhead. The aliens, known as the Zalkari, were known for their intelligence and technology. They had traveled far across the galaxy, seeking knowledge about other civilizations. One day, while exploring an ancient ruin, the Zalkari found a mysterious object. It was an old stone tablet covered in symbols and drawings. Excitedly, they brought it back to their council hall. The elders of the Zalkari sat in a circle, eager to understand what this tablet could reveal. Elder Kale, a wise and respected leader, stood up. "We must decode this artifact. It may hold secrets about a species known as humans," he said, his voice echoing through the hall. As the aliens studied the tablet, they discovered scenes of battles, struggles, and survival. The drawings showed humans fighting against fierce creatures, building great cities, and exploring the stars. The Zalkari learned that humans had faced many challenges throughout their long history. In a flashback, the aliens saw a time when Earth was a young planet. The humans lived in small groups, hunting and gathering food. They were weak compared to the giant animals around them. Many believed humans would not survive. But against all odds, they adapted. They learned to work together, create tools, and form communities. The Zalkari watched in awe as the humans discovered fire, allowing them to cook food and protect themselves from danger. They saw humans building homes and learning to farm. With each passing generation, humans grew stronger and smarter. The Zalkari realized that humans had an incredible ability to overcome difficulties. As the Zalkari continued to study the tablet, they learned about great wars that shaped human history. The aliens saw scenes of fierce battles fought for freedom and survival. Humans united to face common enemies, showing bravery and determination. They fought against powerful empires, refusing to back down, no matter the odds. Elder Kale felt a mixture of fear and respect for humans. "They are not just a primitive species," he said thoughtfully. "They have evolved into a force that cannot be ignored. We must understand them better." The other council members nodded, realizing the significance of what they had discovered. Some felt excitement about the possibility of meeting humans. Others, however, felt a sense of dread. "What if they see us as a threat?" one alien asked nervously. As the council debated, a younger Zalkari named Jorah spoke up. "Instead of fearing them, we should learn from their history. They survived against all odds. Perhaps we can find a way to coexist." Elder Kale considered her words carefully. "You are wise, Jorah. But we must proceed with caution. We cannot underestimate their capabilities. We should send a team to observe Earth before making any decisions." The council agreed. They would gather more information about humanity. As they prepared their ships for the journey to Earth, the Zalkari felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. Would they find a species that could be a friend or a foe? Meanwhile, back on Earth, humans continued their daily lives, unaware of the aliens watching from afar. They faced their own challenges, from natural disasters to conflicts among themselves. But deep inside, humanity held a spark of resilience. They were survivors. As the Zalkari ships traveled through space, the alien leaders felt the weight of their mission. They were about to uncover the truth about humanity, a truth that could change the fate of both species forever. Would they find a partner in humans, or would they awaken a god-level threat? The future remained uncertain. But one thing was clear. The Zalkari were about to step into a story that had been unfolding for thousands of years. The Zalkari council chamber buzzed with tension. After discovering the ancient tablet about humanity, the aliens felt both excitement and fear. The grand hall, usually a place of calm discussion, now echoed with raised voices. Elder Kale sat at the center of the council table, trying to restore order. "Everyone, please! We must discuss this carefully," he urged. The council members looked at him, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. An alien named Vorak, known for his aggressive views, stood up. "Why should we even consider contacting these humans? They have survived for thousands of years." "They are dangerous!" he exclaimed, his eyes wide with alarm. Another council member, Lyra, shook her head. "But they also show great resilience. Look how they fought against their enemies. If they can survive, maybe they have something to teach us," she replied, hoping to calm the situation. Vorak scoffed. "Teach us? They are just primitive beings. If we let our guard down, they might turn against us. We should act quickly to eliminate the threat." The room fell silent. Elder Kale's gaze shifted to Vorak. We need to gather more information before making any decisions. We cannot let fear guide us, he said firmly. If we attack without understanding, we risk making a powerful enemy. A younger council member, Jorah, raised her hand. Elder Kale is right. We should send a small team to observe Earth first. We need to see how they live and what they are capable of. Vorak frowned, clearly unhappy with the idea. And what if they detect us? What if they send ships to fight back? He warned, crossing his arms. Jorah replied confidently, We will be careful and stay hidden. Knowledge is power. The more we know, the better our decisions will be. After much debate, the council finally agreed to Jorah's plan. A small team of Zalkari would travel to Earth, hidden from human eyes. They would observe from a distance and report back. But doubts lingered among the council members. As preparations began, fear gripped Vorak's heart. He couldn't shake the feeling that humans were more than they appeared. They had survived for millennia, and that was not by chance. Something deep within him worried that their curiosity could lead to disaster. Days passed, and the Zalkari team set off for Earth in sleek, fast ships. As they traveled through space, they communicated about their mission. They were excited but cautious, knowing the potential dangers ahead. Meanwhile, back on Earth, life continued as usual. Humans were unaware of the aliens watching from afar. Some people faced struggles, while others found joy in simple things. They worked, loved, and dreamed, always moving forward despite the challenges. On Earth, scientists and explorers were making new discoveries. They reached out to the stars, hoping to learn more about the universe. The Zalkari, hidden in their ships, observed these moments with awe. They saw human creativity and determination, which further complicated their feelings about the species. The Zalkari team landed on a quiet spot in a forest, far from human eyes. They activated their cloaking devices, becoming invisible to anyone nearby. The team leader, a Zalkari named Thara, gathered her crew. We need to move quickly and quietly. Let's find out what humans are really like, she instructed. As they ventured into the forest, they watched humans going about their lives. They saw families playing in parks, children laughing, and friends gathering. The Zalkari felt a strange mix of emotions: curiosity, admiration, and fear. Thara noted everything in her mind. These humans seem happy and connected, but we must remember their history of violence and war, she reminded her team. We cannot forget that they are capable of great destruction. Just then they heard loud noises nearby. It was a group of humans protesting against a government decision. The Zalkari watched in shock as people shouted and held signs. The scene was intense, showing the passion and anger of humanity. This is their strength and weakness, Thara observed. They fight for what they believe in. We must be careful. The Zalkari returned to their ship, knowing they had much to learn. As they prepared to report back to the council, one thought echoed in their minds. Humanity was a mystery, and that mystery could either lead to friendship or war. Fear lingered, but so did hope. The fate of both species now hung in the balance, and their next moves would shape the future of the galaxy. The Zalkari team returned to their council on Zalara, their hearts racing with the discoveries they had made. They had seen humans laugh, fight, and stand up for what they believed in. But they also witnessed the chaos of human protests, and the tension in the air felt like a warning. Elder Kale listened carefully as Thara reported their findings. They are passionate, but they can also be dangerous, Thara said, her voice steady but filled with concern. They fight for their beliefs, and their history shows they will not back down easily. Vorak leaned forward, eyes gleaming with fear. See? They are a threat. We cannot allow them to grow stronger. We must strike before they can react. Elder Kale took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. We need to be strategic. Attacking without a plan could cause great harm. We should consider our options carefully. Just then, a loud alarm sounded throughout the council chamber. The lights flickered and the walls glowed red. An urgent voice echoed over the intercom. We are detecting multiple human ships approaching Zalara. They appear to be armed. Panic spread through the council. Vorak jumped up, shouting, They have come to attack us! I warned you all. We must defend ourselves. Elder Kale quickly raised his hand for silence. Everyone listen. We need to assess the situation. We cannot jump to conclusions. As the council members scrambled to their stations, Jorah took a deep breath and focused on the screens showing the approaching ships. They may not be here to attack us. Perhaps they are just curious or exploring. Vorak scoffed. Curious? They have weapons. They are here to conquer us. Meanwhile, on the human ships, a group of astronauts stood at the helm, eyes fixed on the screens before them. They had detected strange energy readings coming from Zalara and wanted to investigate. Captain Smith led the crew, determined to find out what was happening. "Prepare for approach," Captain Smith ordered. "We need to gather data and report back to Earth. We can't ignore these readings." As the humans neared Zalara, the Zalkari Council debated what to do. Should they launch a defensive attack or try to communicate? The atmosphere was thick with tension. "Send a message," Thara suggested. "We should reach out to them before things escalate. If they are here to explore, we might be able to explain ourselves." Vorak shook his head furiously. "No, we cannot risk it. We must show strength. If we appear weak, they will think they can defeat us." Elder Kale turned to Vorak. "But we don't know their intentions. We cannot fight without understanding what we are up against." Finally, the council voted to send a message to the humans. As the Zalkari activated their communication system, a bright beam shot into the sky, broadcasting their peaceful intentions. The message read, "We mean no harm. Please identify yourselves." On the human ships, the crew watched in surprise as the message appeared on their screens. Captain Smith leaned closer, intrigued. "They want to talk. This could be our chance to learn about them," he said. With curiosity and caution, the humans responded. "This is Captain Smith of the Earth Exploration Fleet. We are not here to attack. We wish to understand your planet and its energy readings." Back in the Zalkari Council, relief washed over them. Elder Kale spoke. "They do not wish to fight. We must use this opportunity to show them we are not their enemies." Just then, alarms blared again. An unknown group of alien ships appeared on the radar, heading straight for both the Zalkari and human vessels. "These ships are not ours," a Zalkari officer shouted. "They are hostile!" Vorak's eyes widened. "I told you, we are under attack!" As chaos erupted in the council chamber, the Zalkari prepared their weapons. "We need to defend ourselves," Elder Kale shouted. "But we cannot forget our message to the humans. We must find a way to work together." Captain Smith saw the incoming threat on his radar. "Brace for impact! We need to defend ourselves and protect the Zalkari!" he yelled, adrenaline coursing through him. In that moment, humanity and the Zalkari faced a common enemy. Tension turned into action as both species prepared for battle. Little did they know, this fight would change everything. The Zalkari and human ships were locked in a tense standoff as the hostile alien fleet approached. On the bridge of the Zalkari command ship, Elder Kyle watched the screens closely, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The blaring alarms echoed in his ears, reminding him that their time for action was running out. "Prepare to defend the council! We cannot let them breach our defenses!" Kale ordered, his voice firm but steady. His heart raced as he thought of what was at stake. Meanwhile, on Captain Smith's ship, the crew was filled with urgency. They quickly assessed the situation. "Sir, we have incoming fire from the enemy," shouted one of the officers. The tension in the air was palpable as they prepared for battle. "Stay calm," Captain Smith replied, his eyes fixed on the enemy ships. "We need to work with the Zalkari. If we fight together, we stand a better chance." He turned to his crew, determination shining in his eyes. "Let's send a message to the Zalkari and coordinate our attack." On the Zalkari ship, Thara quickly relayed Captain Smith's message to Elder Kyle. "He wants to join forces." "This could be our chance," she urged, her voice filled with hope. "If we work together, we can defeat this enemy." Kale nodded, understanding the importance of unity. "Send the humans our battle plans. We must work as one." The Zalkari crew quickly transmitted their strategies, outlining how to counter the enemy's advances. As the enemy ships closed in, a sudden jolt shook the Zalkari command ship. The hostile fleet opened fire, and sparks flew across the bridge. Alarms blared even louder, and crew members scrambled to their stations. "Return fire!" Kale commanded. "We must hold them off until the humans are ready." The Zalkari weapons fired brilliant beams of energy, lighting up the dark void of space. Captain Smith's crew readied their ships, forming a defensive line alongside the Zalkari. "We're in position, Captain!" an officer called out. "Ready to engage." "On my mark!" Smith shouted. Just as the enemy ships prepared to unleash another barrage, the human and Zalkari ships fired simultaneously. Brilliant blasts of energy collided with the enemy, sending shockwaves through space. The surprise attack threw the enemy off balance. The Zalkari and human forces worked together, dodging incoming fire while retaliating with precision. For the first time, Elder Kale and Captain Smith shared a moment of understanding. They were fighting for their survival side by side. As the battle raged on, both species displayed extraordinary bravery. Zalkari ships maneuvered gracefully, using their speed to outsmart the enemy, while human pilots showcased their skills, executing daring maneuvers that astonished their Zalkari allies. But just when it seemed they might gain the upper hand, a massive enemy ship emerged from the shadows. It dwarfed everything around it, a dark shadow looming over the battlefield. "This is bad," Vorak yelled, his eyes wide with fear. "We cannot defeat that beast!" Elder Kale looked at the massive ship and felt dread wash over him. "We must find a way to defeat it! If we don't, we will all perish." He turned to Thera and Smith. "We need to use our combined strengths. Can the humans disable its weapons?" Captain Smith thought quickly. "Yes! If we can distract it, we can target its weak points. But we need to act fast. Let's do it!" Thara shouted, her determination igniting the crew's spirits. "We can't let fear control us." The plan was set. While the Zalkari ships engaged the enemy, the humans would slip into position to strike at the weak points of the massive ship. The Zalkari and humans worked in perfect harmony, showcasing the power of their alliance. As they approached the giant ship, Captain Smith's heart raced. "Now!" he yelled, and the human ships launched their attack. The combined energy blasts struck the enemy's hull, causing explosions that rippled through the dark ship. The massive enemy ship shuddered and began to lose control. The Zalkari and humans pressed their advantage, launching a final assault. With one last barrage, the enemy ship crumbled and fell into the void of space. Cheers erupted in both the Zalkari and human ships. They had survived the battle together. Elder Kale and Captain Smith exchanged proud glances, realizing that their alliance had not only saved them, but had also forged a bond between their species. In the aftermath of the battle, they knew this was a turning point. They had faced their fears and emerged stronger, united against a common threat. The battle had shown them that together they could overcome any obstacle. As they began to plan for the future, both Elder Kale and Captain Smith understood that their journey had just begun. They now had the power to explore the universe together, united as allies in a vast galaxy filled with unknowns. In the aftermath of the battle, the Zalkari and human ships floated in the silence of space, remnants of the destroyed enemy fleet scattered around them like forgotten memories. Captain Smith stood on the bridge of his ship, his heart filled with a mix of relief and pride. They had fought together and won, but the fight was only the beginning of their new journey. Elder Kale appeared on the main screen, his expression serious but hopeful. "We have much to discuss," he said. "Our victory today is only the first step. The galaxy is full of dangers, and we must be prepared." Captain Smith nodded, understanding the weight of Kale's words. "You're right, Elder. We need to establish a plan for our future. Together, we can explore and protect our worlds." Thara, standing beside Kale, looked excited. "We can share our knowledge. The Zalkari have advanced technology and humans have different skills. Together, we can create something new." As they spoke, the Zalkari ships began to gather around the human fleet. Each ship's crew was filled with a sense of unity and purpose. The battles they had fought had forged a bond that neither species could ignore. They were no longer just Zalkari and humans. They were allies, partners in a greater mission. Days passed as they worked side by side, sharing information and learning from each other. The humans showed the Zalkari how to navigate using their advanced star maps, while the Zalkari taught the humans about their energy shields and weapon systems. Each species brought unique strengths to the table, and their friendship blossomed. One day, Captain Smith stood on the deck of the Zalkari command ship, watching as the Zalkari engineers and human scientists worked together on new technology. "This is amazing," he said to Thera, who was beside him. "We are truly building something special." Thara smiled, her eyes shining with excitement. "Yes! We can create ships that combine our technology. Imagine what we can achieve together." Elder Kale joined them, sensing the energy of hope in the air. "Our alliance is strong. With our combined knowledge, we can explore new worlds and protect the ones we hold dear. But we must also be cautious. Other enemies may come wanting to take what we have." As they continued their work, news arrived from Earth. A message transmitted through the stars brought both joy and urgency. "Earth wishes to meet with the Zalkari Council," Smith announced, his voice filled with excitement. They want to discuss our alliance and the future of our worlds. Elder Kale nodded, recognizing the significance of this moment. We must prepare for this meeting. It is time to show Earth that our partnership is not just about defense, but also about exploration and understanding. The day of the meeting arrived, and the bridge of the Zalkari command ship was filled with representatives from both species. As Captain Smith addressed the room, he felt a wave of determination wash over him. Today we stand together as one. We have faced challenges and emerged stronger. Our alliance can change the galaxy for the better. As he spoke, the faces of both Zalkari and humans reflected hope and excitement. Elder Kale stood beside him, his expression firm yet warm. Together, we will explore the stars, protect our worlds, and learn from each other. We have much to teach and much to learn. The representatives agreed to form a new council, one that included both humans and Zalkari. They would work together to make decisions for their future. Ideas flowed freely, and soon plans for joint missions and exploration began to take shape. As days turned into weeks, the alliance continued to strengthen. They launched exploratory missions to nearby planets, seeking new resources and knowledge. On each new world, they discovered life and beauty, often marveling at how different yet similar they were. During one mission, they encountered a strange and colorful planet filled with exotic plants and creatures. The crew marveled at the beauty around them. "This place is incredible," Thara exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. "Imagine what else is out there." Captain Smith smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment. "This is just the beginning. With every new world we explore, we grow closer and learn more about ourselves and each other." The Zalkari and human alliance became a beacon of hope in the galaxy, a testament to the strength of unity in the face of adversity. They proved that despite their differences, they could achieve great things together. As they continued to explore the stars, Captain Smith and Elder Kale knew that their new beginning would lead to endless possibilities. The galaxy was vast, and together they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. In this new chapter of their shared history, they were not just survivors, they were explorers, friends, and a united force against any who dared to threaten their newfound bond. The future was bright, and they were ready to embrace it together.